Okay, next part of our recap and review is coaching styles. Can you spend the next 10 minutes identifying the 4 key coaching styles and the trade-offs associated with each? Okay, hopefully you've identified the 4 key coaching styles and had a chance to think about the trade-offs with each. So firstly, autocratic, being that bossy coach, giving instruction to the players. This can be really useful when communicating a safety message to the players. So for example, the usage policy with the goalposts, staying within the playing area, not leaving the AstroTurf. That can be really important when giving safety messages. The downside is if we're communicating our key messages with that type of approach, the players may lose ownership and the decision-making capabilities. So if we're giving them the answers, if we're giving them the information, that's lowering their level of interaction and lowering their ability to make decisions themselves. Okay, democratic, so a more laid-back approach, giving the players some ownership of their own learning. The downside of this approach would be it takes a little bit more time than the autocratic method, so that might affect the players' ball rolling time if we spend too long on this approach. But the benefit would see players engage with their own learning, come up with their own solutions, and help communicate them with the coach. Okay, question and answer. So the players interacting, asking questions, gaining answers off the coach, and also the other way around. So the coach asking questions to gain answers from the players. This can be really good for checking player understanding. So can you check they've got their message? Do you understand? Give me a reminder of what we just spoke about. There you go. Or a chance for you to give them more information. Also increases the interaction with the players and builds that rapport. On the flip side, much like democratic, it can take quite a lot of time and eat into the active play in your session, that ball rolling time. And sometimes it can deal you as the coach some challenging situations whereby the players ask particular questions you haven't got quite the answer for, and that can put you in a particular tricky situation. So it's often described as expert coaches having this question answer approach because they're able to facilitate that conversation with the players. And finally, guided discovery. So you may set the players a challenge and ask them to come up with a solution. So far less involvement from the coach than these two approaches, and player-led. So that would be a major positive of this approach. The players gain ownership of the solutions they're coming up with and the strategies they're developing. But again, the challenge with this approach is being that expert coach. How can you set the challenge to that right level and then facilitate and support the players discovering, hence the terminology guided by the coach, but the players discovering some of the answers for themselves. And that, as I said, can take an expert coach, knowing when to intervene and help the players if they need support, or knowing when to step back and give them more time to discover the answer.